Hello my YouTube chums. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Peri Urban and I'm a video blogger and musician here on YouTube and also over on live video. I want to thank Marcus for putting up this amazing new multi-user channel, and I hope that many of you will take advantage of the fact that it is multi-user to get your videos up here and share your vision and your ideas about the future of this amazing community that we're all part of. Of course, the community extends beyond YouTube, extends over into live video, extends beyond live video over into Rever. It's all over the place, and we're all enjoying this face-driven technology that, we look into one another's eyes and we see, we see something, don't we? And that's the power of this new medium that we're all exploring, and it's changed people's lives. It's changed my life. All the friends that I've made here, everybody talks about how it changes lives, and if it changes individual lives, then slowly, bit by bit, it changes everybody's lives in a way. So we all understand, I think, the power of this new thing that we're doing. But where does it go? Where do we go with it? I've noticed recently a few people drifting away from YouTube. Real life intervenes. They don't have any real reason to continue making similar videos again and again and again, and they get a little bit bored with it, and so they don't make any more videos. And that's fine, because everybody's got a real life to live. And I think that's a real shame. It's a shame that YouTube, that live video, can't hold on to people and keep them here. Now, is there an answer to that? Yes, I think there is. I think there is an answer to that. I think there's a reason why people disappear, why people fade away from YouTube and live video and all the rest. I've got this crazy notion, crazy idea in my mind, which I call the eNation. And the eNation is a place where you are happy to call yourself not a user, not a member, but a citizen. Now, the power of the word citizen, I hope you understand what that means. I don't know what country you live in. I live in a democratic system, in the UK. At times I think it's just a nominally democratic system. I don't really believe that democracy delivers all the things it promises, but that's a debate for another day. But I'm a citizen of this nation that I live in, and I think to myself, well, I spend a lot of time online, and when I'm online I have no influence or power over the services that I use at all. So when we all started thinking about this, and when I was contacted about this, I started thinking about what I would want to see, where I would want this community to go, and what I'd like to see in the future. Now, it's just a personal vision. I'm not saying that everybody has to agree with me, and lots of people don't, so that's fine. But it's just my personal vision of how things could be. And I imagine the eNation would be a place where I would be happy to call myself a citizen and carry out all my online activities. So the eNation would belong to me and I would belong to it. So, at the moment I use eBay and I use Skype and I send emails and I have my own web space and I'm on YouTube and I'm on live video and a dozen other sites that I go to from time to time. And why do I have to go to 24 different sites to do my thing, when the community that I want to reach is right here? It's right here on YouTube. And the reason it's right here on the YouTube, and the reason I know it's right here on YouTube, is because it's face driven. I can look at those people that I'm friends with, and I can, I make a connection with them that I don't make in these other community based sites. So I started thinking, why, if I'm making content and putting it up there, and other people are making content and putting it up, we're all watching one another's content, why do we need the middlemen? Why do we need the middlemen to make billions of our activity. So that's what started me thinking on this. And I think what we need a community-owned service that is run on democratic lines. Now, we can get into arguments later about how the democracy should work. You know, one person, one vote, or I've heard the phrase tonight, liquid democracy. I don't know much about that. I have a phrase that I use, which is consensus holocracy, which is everybody making decisions. There are all kinds of different ways that you could organise using democratic principles to run, not to run it, but to empower the citizens of that service. The citizens of the eNation would be empowered to vote, to elect officials, not to have referendums every day. I don't think that would work, but to vote on the big issues, you know, to vote on how the money is spent and all that kind of thing. Argue about that later, but just, you know, the idea of a democratic element to an online existence is very exciting to me. The aspect of community ownership is is important too, because if you don't own your part of it, then you don't really have a stake in it. You know, people drift away from YouTube and live video because it's just what it is. But if you're, well, to be completely fanciful for a minute, if your wages were getting paid in and you were trading using into that same community, imagine eBay and MySpace and Amazon and YouTube all rolled up into one, and you owned your little corner of that, and you could bring in advertising if you wanted to. You could shut it out if you wanted to. You could sell things from there. You could do what you wanted with it. That's the kind of vision I have. It's not a unique vision. There are other people working in this. Whether it will happen, I don't know. There are problems with it. Of course there are. And I know in the little group that I'm part of, we've been discussing this. And there are problems with introducing electronic democracy. Because how do you verify that I am who I say I am, and that I haven't got 100 accounts and I vote 100 times? That's one of the problems. Well, there are mechanisms, there are electronic mechanisms that get around this by creating interconnections between people. I don't quite understand them yet because we're at the beginning of this. But I think if we kind of open our minds away from traditional mechanisms of democracy into wider areas, then perhaps we can come up with something. And I don't have time in this video to get into all the parameters and all the ins and outs of that. The community ownership aspect is problematic too, because for a service to get up and running, maybe you need millions and millions of investment. And if you do, the investor is going to want to control the situation and will not want to abdicate responsibility or abdicate power to the community. But if this thing has the potential that I think it has, then I think a far-sighted investor, an imaginative investor, if there are such things, would see that, you know, a small slice of something really big is better than a big slice of something not so big. But these are all arguments for the future. I just wanted to give you my vision of this place where you can do everything that you do online in one place to one community. It's your eNation. You're there for it, and it's there for you. You know, and that's my vision in a nutshell. So let's hear your responses to that, and you can make video responses here, or you can put your own video up to discuss all these things. You can launch your own idea into the pot. It doesn't matter. Let's just have a chaotic rambling debate, and out of that hopefully something will come that we can all agree on, and we can, who knows, some Bill Gates might step up and say, that's the project for me. Who knows? Anyway, I'll see you all in a wee while.